How to draw a baseball mitt. Welcome to Rain Francis Art for Kids. Today I'm going to show you how to draw this baseball mitt with colored pencils. I'll show you how to do this step by step. This is an easy drawing lesson for kids, beginners, and kids of all ages. Hi everyone, welcome to Rain Francis Art for Kids. My name is Rain. In this series, Summer Party, we draw and paint everything that has to do with summertime. So let's begin. This is what you'll need for today's drawing. You're going to need a piece of paper. I have my dollar store drawing pad here. It's 11 by 8.5. You'll need a pencil and an eraser. And if you have an old paintbrush hanging out, you can use that to dust off your page. We have two colors today. We have a light brown and we have a red. And I also have my fine tip black marker for outlining. So why don't we begin drawing our baseball mitt? Now, my friends, I might be erasing and fixing up and all that kind of thing because this is not an easy drawing for me. So I'm going to try to make it easy for you. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to draw the baseball, okay? So we've got just a round baseball there, okay? That's it for now, just a round baseball. And we're going to draw the mitt. I'm going to start with the thumb. The thumb kind of comes out like this and goes around. And there are 4 big fingers, just like that. And why don't I just bring this line down here? And in between, there's always this area here that kind of keeps the mitt together. And then there's kind of like that. Kind of keeps the mitt together, you know, when you're going like this in the baseball mitt. And down here, I'm just going to draw a little line. Okay, and there's going to be stitches on here, like that. And I'm just going to put little X's here, just to indicate stitching here as well. And there is stitching on the baseball, but we're going to draw that in with our red. We don't have to outline it, okay? But what I'm going to do right now is I am going to take my fine tip black marker and outline everything. That's what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to erase my pencil marks. Now, I'm not too worried about following my pencil mark because I'm going to be erasing them. But if you're not erasing your pencil marks, just be careful, maybe follow what you've done there so that they don't show too much. But like I said, I'm going to be erasing mine, so I don't mind at all if they show right now, because they're going to be gone in just a minute. All right, and the stitching down here. See, I'm not really following what I originally drew, but that's okay. All right, now let's make sure the marker is dry, and then I'm going to erase my pencil marks. This is a very easy drawing in that it's only really one color. We have the red for the stitching on the baseball, but the whole mitt is brown. So we're just going to be coloring brown. And I have my pencil sharpener ready, just in case I have to sharpen my pencil, my brown coloring pencil, because we will be using a lot of color today, a lot of brown color. Okay. got everything there. So let's begin. We are coloring in the entire Mitt brown, including these lines here, but not the baseball, okay? So let's do this. There. And now for the mitt. Do you play baseball? Do you play softball? I know a lot of kids and teenagers play softball. Adults too. Baseball is kind of for the professionals, right? I don't know that for sure. I'm just saying that. I could be completely wrong. Maybe lots of people played baseball. But I used to play softball when I was a kid. Every summer I was in a softball league. And I always played second base. I wasn't a very good hitter, though, but I was good catching. I was definitely not a home run hitter. Definitely not. I'm just trying very hard not to get any brown into that ball, because the ball is going to stay white. Well, the paper here isn't really white. It's kind of an off-white, but I'm not going to color it in. I'm going to leave it the color of the paper. So I'm going to be careful around that ball. You could use markers for this as well. That would work very well. And have I mentioned that when you're using coloring pencils, turn your pencil once in a while, just so you don't wear it all down on one side. Because if you wear it down on one side, then the tip tends to break quicker, and then you have to sharpen, and it just doesn't last as long. I'm going to try to stay in my lines here. There we go. Okay. I'm going to turn my pencil and color in the rest of that mitt. We're going to color it in a second time. That's called coloring in a second layer, or adding a second layer. That's why I always say you don't have to press down hard. Just add layers and you'll get a nice color that way. Alright, so this is our first layer done. And if you wanted to, you could just stop there and then we'll add detail to the ball. But I'm going to do a second layer after I sharpen my pencil here. Okay, now I'm adding a second layer, coloring it in a second time, and I'm really not pressing down hard at all. But you see the difference? It does make a big difference when you add layers. I have to be careful again around that ball. See the difference between 2 layers here and 1 layer on the rest of the mitt? It makes a huge difference. Now what I'm going to do, because this is how I usually color, is I do the areas around the edges and the insides, you know, where I don't want to get color into. I usually go over those first. It gives me a guideline to what I'm doing. I know it may sound a little silly to do that, but that's how I do it. I like doing that. I've done that since I was a kid, That's how I color. Okay, and then I go around the outline, the edges, you know. I don't know why I do that. I just started doing that as a kid and it kept doing it as an adult. Don't forget to turn your pencil. My dogs are so quiet right now. I am so proud of them. Usually it's just after 12 here, afternoon. And I took them out and I gave them a little snack. And I told them to all get to bed. So they all jumped up on my bed, all 5 of them. I don't think my cat's not on the bed. He's over on the pillow. But, yeah, they're all sleeping. Very, very nice. Nice and quiet in the house right now. I like it. So I've done my outline. I'm just going to now color everything in. Maybe that's why I do the outline of everything, so that after I can just go crazy and color. I don't have to worry about being careful. Maybe that's why I do it. What do you guys think? Think that's why I do it? Okay. I think I have to sharpen again. When you use a small sharpener like this, you can't sharpen. You see the difference? That's really long. That's super short, but it's because my pencil is so small. Look at this, is a pencil extender. Look at how tiny my pencil is. So it doesn't fit into my big one. So I have to use the small sharpener. And the small sharpener doesn't, I don't really like it because it just sharpens it too short for my liking. So let me finish up my baseball mitt here. I used to go to baseball games all the time. I used to live in a big city called Montreal in Canada. And the baseball team in Montreal, they don't exist anymore. They moved to, geez, I think it was Puerto Rico. They were called the Montreal Expos. And it was so much fun going to the ball game in the summer. I think the tickets were, and I'm talking a long time ago, I don't know how much these things cost now, but they were called the bleachers. And the bleachers are the very, very back of the stadium. But they were like $6. So we paid $6 to go watch the games, and we'd get hot dogs and popcorn and sodas, and it was just so much fun going to the ball game. All right, so there we go. There's my second layer of brown. So the last little detail that we have to do is we have to put some stitching on the ball, and that's why we have our red color. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw 2 little semicircles like this, and I'm going to go over it again. There, I've gone over it 3 times. So that means I've done 3 layers. Okay. And now we do the stitching. And the stitching is just like this. We do little kind of semicircles, and I'm doing 1, 2 layers. 1, 2 layers. 1, 2 layers. Okay? Right away. There we go. So that's our baseball mitt. Now, my friends, I always tell you, I just moved the camera, didn't I? Sorry about that. I always tell you to sign your work. I want you to be very, very proud of the beautiful work of art that you just created. I hope you enjoyed this lesson, my friends, and we'll see you next time on Summer Party. Thanks for watching. Bye.